In May 2001, Grupo Vocal Descendant, now known as the Creole Choir of Cuba, arrived at the Miami International Airport from Havana, Cuba. They were about to make history. Until a landmark court ruling in June 2000, Miami-based cultural organizations were prohibited by a county ordinance from using public funds to present Cuban artists. Eventually, advocates of free speech and cultural expression would defeat the ordinance, and the Creole Choir became the first Cuban group presented in Miami by a publicly funded organization, the Miami Light Project. Welcome to Miami is a story about music, about the First Amendment to the Constitution, and about Miami, an American city that has been the scene of remarkable social and political transformations observed by the rest of the nation and much of the world.
Bienvenidos a Miami. Welcome to Miami.
Welcome to Miami. From a population of 5,000 just 100 years ago, Miami has become a city of over 2.5 million people. The most significant population increase occurred when more than 500,000 Cubans fleeing the revolutionary government of Fidel Castro arrived during the 1960s. And in the single month of May 1980, the Mariel boat lift brought 125,000 more Cubans to Miami. Cubans have profoundly influenced both the population and the culture of Miami. In 1996, a Miami organization called Brothers to the Rescue claimed their civilian planes were shot down over international waters by Cuban military jets. The Cuban government disputed the claim and said that the American planes had violated Cuban airspace. In reaction, the Miami-Dade County Commission enacted the Cuba Ordinance. Under the ordinance, all county organizations had to swear they had not had any transactions with Cubans. The passage of the Cuba Ordinance coincided with a growing nationwide interest in Cuban music. Supporters of the arts and people who loved music found that by simply attending a concert by Cuban musicians, they faced a hostile political atmosphere. In 1998, Cuba's most popular band, Los Van Van, which had already toured the rest of the United States, performed in Miami. The concert was organized without the use of county funds, but that did not stop concert promoter Debbie Ohanian from receiving death threats.
People would call up and say some pretty horrible things.
Thousands of Cuban exiles were bussed in to protest outside the Miami arena. Concertgoers were spat upon and their cars vandalized. Riot police were called in to keep order
Because they eventually charged me $39,000 in security fees.
The ACLU represented Debbie in court.
If you were to play this footage in Havana, it was like, could you imagine this is what goes on in Miami and the world of, capitalism and the exile community, that a simple little salsa band can't play without a protest?
In 1999, the county's application of the Cuba Ordinance and embarrassing incidents like the Los Van Van concert fiasco hurt Miami financially. Many felt the behavior of the protesters and official sanctions were in direct violation of their First Amendment rights. Then came Elian Gonzalez and the highly publicized debate over the 6-year-old Cuban rafter. This divided Miami even further. Suddenly, Miami-style intolerance was in the international spotlight. In April 2000, the ACLU filed a class action lawsuit for Miami Light Project and others, and just 2 months later, it was ruled unconstitutional.
The Cuba ordinance, in addition to being unconstitutional, was really embarrassing for Miami-Dade County because it underscored how intolerant we are and how much of a reputation we have for intolerance around the country. So we felt like it was something that we needed to challenge, and we're glad we won.
1 year after the historic ruling, the Creole Choir of Cuba arrived for their Miami debut. The group appeared on local radio stations, at public receptions, a church, a school, and performed 3 concerts in town. The Miami Light Project found a hidden cultural part of Miami when they selected the Creole Choir to be the first Cuban group they would present in Miami. While the members of the Creole Choir were born and trained in Cuba, they are descendants of Haitians who immigrated to the neighboring island. Few people are aware of the long relationship between the 2 Caribbean islands. The choir's trilingual repertoire includes many traditional songs in Haitian Creole, which are better known among Miami's exiled Haitians than Miami's exiled Cubans. After a triumphant visit, the choir received the key to the city of Miami and returned to Cuba the same way they arrived. In June 2001, Los Fakiris became the second Cuban band presented by the Miami Light Project.
Vamos a seguir bailando este baile popular. Suavecito, suavecito.
And there were no protests. More than 12 years have passed. Miami is a different city. The month-long Global Cuba Fest presents more than 40 Cuban artists.
Y cuando escampas solo quedas tú.
The Creole Choir returns to Miami.
¿De dónde serán, mamá? Que me las quiero aprender. Ellos son de la loma y los quiero conocer. Vamos a ver, sí señor. Felices de estar de nuevo en Miami.
Without protest.
Yo veré, mamá, ellos son de la loma. Oye, mamá, ellos cantan en llano. Mamá, ellos son de la loma. Oye, mamá, ellos cantan en llano. Mamá, ellos son de la loma. ¿De dónde serán, mamá? Que